Greetings. Just a thought from the road. As we look at how our values inform us or whether our thoughts and considerations are based on our partisanship and our politics, I thought about an example of how to test. A little bit of explanation. In 2016, November, the United States had an election for president. Donald Trump won it. Hillary Clinton lost it. Donald Trump won, I believe it was 303 electoral college votes, and I think he needed 275. Sorry if I don't have the numbers exactly right, but he won it decisively, which was a reminder that the United States presidential election is an indirect election. It is that 50 individual states plus territories, such as Washington, D.C., vote. And within that state or territory, the results are tabulated. And within that, then you have a winner. In almost all cases, the winner takes all of the electoral college votes. For example, in California, you might have 5 to 6 to 7 million people who voted for the other candidate whose votes they don't count. All of California's delegates at the Electoral College Convention the following month will vote for the winner of the California election for president. If that's a Democrat, then all of the votes from California go to Hillary Clinton. California is merely the biggest example. Almost all of them are like that. What we had in 2016 was an election where we had a clear, decisive winner, Donald Trump. When later, afterwards, all of the individual votes were put into one tally, it turns out that Hillary Clinton got more individual votes. It very quickly became a description that Hillary Clinton won the popular election. We didn't have a popular election. The United States does not have a popular election for president across the country. That's not what we have. Yet the description very quickly became Hillary Clinton won the popular votes, which then became, for those who didn't like that Trump had won and that Hillary had lost, that we should have the president elected directly by one vote. Understand this. To talk about that as a way to run our presidential election, to determine who wins the election, is one thing. But these people weren't thinking about it is our system that we've had for 230 years that has seen us through the growth and development of this country, through Civil War, through Great Depression, through World War II, through all of these things. Is this system something we should abandon to switch to something else? This isn't the discussion that they were looking to have. They were looking to have Trump. They didn't want him to be president. So therefore, they found a way to say Hillary Clinton should have been president. So the point of this day is not to go into that detail. The point of this day is to equip us with how do you check your own views, your own what do you really believe? Are you believing something that you value or something that gives you the partisan result that you want? Go back to the first video. This is the basis of that. Here's what it is. Here's a way to test. Keep the same number of results, switch the people. In this example, which is why I'm bringing it up, it's actually easy to walk through. Imagine that the winning candidate in 2016 had 303 electoral college votes, decisively won the election, and yet when all the votes were put together and numbered and tabulated, the loser of the election ended up getting more votes. Imagine that, but imagine that Hillary Clinton is the one who won the election by getting 303 303 electoral college votes, and that Trump is the one who won the popular vote, to use that terminology, who got more individual votes cast for him. If you believe that Hillary Clinton won the popular vote, won the election, and should have been president, would you still be viewing it the same way if the roles had been reversed? Hillary Clinton had actually won the election and Trump had not, but he got more individual votes. Would you be arguing that Trump should have been president? If your answer had any hesitation, then you are over here. This worked for your partisanship. It's a good example. Because the whole topic of how the United States elects its president is based on so much understanding of checks and balances, which we have state and federal balance. We have Congress, executive, judicial, that balances at the federal government level. We have so many checks and balances. Do you think that those people didn't understand how to make checks and balances in this? Electing the most important position in the country, they had checks and balances in it as well. The basis would be geographical representation, which is the basis of this country, added to population, which is added to the representation and structure of this governance of this country. They crafted a system that has worked for 230 plus years. It did not fail with that 2016 election. It was an oddity, but it didn't fail. You decide whether you think it failed. And if one way to test if you think it failed is to switch the candidates. If you still think it failed, if you imagine that Hillary Clinton had won the election, but that Trump had gotten more votes, would you still be saying Hillary Clinton didn't really win, Trump did? Would you still be saying that? 99.96% of the people who voted for and supported Hillary Clinton would not be saying that. They wouldn't be saying it. So, how do we equip ourselves? We have tools, one of which is that we challenge our own view. We say, okay, this is my view. Now, let me change something in there. In this case, it's very easy to see. And go, oh, would I have the same view if I thought that if Hillary Clinton had won the election instead of Trump? If you have the same view, you're over here with principle. If you have a different view, or if you have hesitancy, or if you have justification, you're not over here with principle. You are partisan. And you're using and you're manipulating. It's okay to do that when you're in the quagmire. We don't want to be in the quagmire. We want to be honest, we want to be upfront, and we want to be clear about what motivates us. Son of Liberty 2020, amliberty2020@gmail.com, thelibertyhub.com. Let's continue our discussion and our expansion of understanding of how things run in our country, because crucially, my view is we don't need to change the structure of our country. We need to change how things are actually playing out. We need to change attitudes, and we need to call out those people who manipulate to deceive. See you next time.